This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Hello, welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacy. Now, before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And you can also listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, visit us at slmexpressions.com for exclusive content, updates, and conversations. And before we get into today's episode, let me just say something real quick. I'm only going to take about 10 to 15 minutes today just to talk football and talk Chargers, right? I don't feel like for me, every podcast got to be an hour long or hour and a half long. Life is busy for people right now. Folks are working. People are moving around, trying to survive, trying to take care of family, right? Trying to make things happen. I know that everybody don't have 2 hours to sit down and listen to a podcast. And really, over the years, that's something I've learned a lot from you, the viewers. When I first started doing this podcast a few years ago, I used to do these long episodes, right? Hour long, hour and a half long. And there was a lot of people who would message me or leave comments saying, Stacy, I like the content, but man, I just don't have time to sit down and listen to a whole podcast. Some people at work, some people commuting, some people just trying to squeeze in a few minutes during the day. And what I started realizing was this. When I shortened the podcast up 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max, people seemed to enjoy it more because I was getting right to the point. And honestly, I think that format works better for me too. So I appreciate everybody that listens, everybody that supports, everybody that takes time out of their day to rock with Chargers Talk 4630 because time is valuable to everyone these days, right? So with that being said, let's get into this. I am going to do something different. I'm going to start my bold prediction beginning today, right here on Chargers Talk 4630. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. There are 263 days left until January 31st, 2027. So do you know why that date is so significant? I'm speaking this into existence right now. The Los Angeles Chargers will be playing in the AFC Championship game on Sunday, January 31st, 2027. Yep. I'm going out on the limb. And I know I'm going to get some pushback on it because it's very early in the year. But if this team pretty much stays healthy, there's no doubts in my mind that we're going to win the AFC West this season and make it to the AFC title game. Sometimes you just have to claim it, speak it into existence, and stand on it. And that's what I'm doing right here on Chargers Talk 4630. There are 263 days left and counting. Let's see how many of you guys are with me all the way through the season. And I'm going to show you something. I've been telling you guys to go to my website that I built. Well, it's called SLM Expressions on slmexpressions.com, obviously. And I've been telling you guys about to go there. I built that site for us, for the Charger community. I'll do breaking news, all types of updates, trades, when they happen in real time. And I come on here and post them for you guys, not on Facebook, not every day on YouTube. I want to put exclusive things that only could be seen on SLM Expressions. And I built this and I want you to see it. I'm going to put it up to the camera. See, can you guys see that? Oh, hope I didn't lose it. You see that there? It says This is live on SLM Expressions. 262 days, 14 hours, 40 minutes, and 8 seconds until the Chargers are in the AFC title game, and it's the January 31st, 2027. Listen, people, I got some really good stuff on here, and I'm building this community for us, the Charger fans, so we can have our own place to go to have fun, to have our different takes, agree and disagree in a respectful way, right? So I'm slowly building that, and I want you guys to go in and check it out. Of course, I have other things on there, like I write books. I'm a music producer. I do music, all that kind of stuff. It's all there. But I got 2 sections just for Chargers only. They have chat boards where you could chat. Everybody could talk to anybody about everything. And when you go on there and see the live countdown with the months, the weeks, the days, the minutes, the hours, the seconds, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And how many of you guys going to ride with me until January 31st? I think it's a nice thing. I think I'm trying to do something different, and it's all done on SLM Expressions. So do me a favor, go check out SLM Expressions. Go put your email in so you can get all the updates, and you can go right on there underneath where it has the live countdown, and you can follow every day that we get on, and you can put any kind of comments you want to put. So let's see how many of you guys gonna ride with me with that this coming season. So every show I will announce how many days we have left to achieve that. So, you know, one thing I've noticed about this off season, we spent so much time talking about the offense, and rightfully so, right? We've talked about Mike McDaniel. We talked about Justin Herbert. We talked about the speed at the wide receiver positions. We talked about the running back room with Omarion Hampton, Keaton Mitchell. And let's not forget what Kamani Vidal did for this team when Omarion Hampton went down for 9 weeks. We talked about the tight end room with the outstanding blocker we got with Charlie Kolar and Oronde Gadsden. And now we've added David Njoku to that tight end room. You talking about a lot of weapons they're putting around Justin Herbert to do his thing this year, right? We've talked about the 4 offensive linemen they drafted and what that says about the direction of this football team. It really feels like Jim Harbaugh has evolved a little bit offensively, right? Harbaugh has always been an old school football guy. I'm talking physical football, the mid-'80s, early 90s mentality. Run the football, control the clock, beat you up at the line of scrimmage. And that's still a part of who he is. But bringing in Mike McDaniel feels like a perfect marriage between old school toughness and modern NFL creativity, because Mike McDaniel understands today's game, the exotic passing concepts, the zone blocking, motion, creative mismatches, spacing, getting players in position to succeed. And when you pair a creative offensive mind like that with somebody as talented as Justin Herbert, it should excite Charger fans, right? But with all that being said, today I want to talk about the defense. Because while everybody's talking offense, I think people are overlooking just how good this Charger defense is and still could be under Chris O'Leary. This defense has quietly been one of the top units in football the last couple of seasons, right? These guys have been good, physical, fast, disciplined, violent to the football. And even though Jesse Minter is gone, I still believe this defense has all the personnel necessary to continue playing at a high level. Matter of fact, I think some position groups actually got better. I think the defensive line got better. I think the edge room got deeper. I think the linebackers improved. And I still believe this secondary has a chance to be one of the better groups in football. Now, let's start with the interior defensive line. Teair Tart became one of my favorite Chargers the last couple of years. I love the way that man plays football. He's physical, he's reliable, he's available, and he's dominant against the run. This dude graded out as a top 5 defensive lineman in football. He consistently clogged the middle, demanded double teams, and he made life miserable for opposing offenses. And that's important because when you have a dominant presence in the middle, it frees everybody else up. Jamari Caldwell, he's another player I think people are sleeping on. He played all 17 games as a rookie. High motor, always around the football. He only had 1 sack, but don't let that fool you because this dude gets penetration constantly. He lives in the backfield. He's strong enough to take on the double teams, but he also athletic enough to disrupt plays behind the line of scrimmage. And then they added Dalvin Tomlinson in free agency. Another big body, another physical presence, Another guy that should help improve this run defense even more. And when you add in Justin Boykby, who's coming off a quiet 6-sack season, there's a lot to be excited about this group. That's a good problem to have. Now let's talk about edge rushers. Khalil Mack just continues to defy Father Time. Now look, he may not be the same ferocious pass rusher he was in his absolute prime, but he's still one of the smartest edge defenders in football. He's still elite at setting the edge, still great against the run, still a leader, still a presence in the locker room, and it's safe to say that Tui Tuipulotu has officially arrived. He had 13 sacks last season, voted to the Pro Bowl, and just had a career year, and it feels like he's just scratching the surface, right? Now, you add first-round pick Hakeem Mesidor into that edge room, that's where things start to get scary because I think Mesidor is going to see a lot of snaps this season. I think he's going to make this edge room deeper, faster, younger, and more explosive. And don't forget about Bud Dupree being there as a veteran depth piece. But I want to be honest with you. I want to see Bud Dupree get pushed. And that brings me to Kyle Kennard. Kyle Kennard was considered one of the best pass rushers in college football coming out last year. This guy had an explosive first step, a high motor, strong against the run, a game wrecker. This dude had 24 career sacks in college, 37 tackles for losses, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. He was disruptive everywhere he went. And the game that really put him on the map was Alabama. Against Alabama, he had 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Even though they lost the game, people around the country started paying attention because he dominated against elite competition. So now the question becomes, what happened? Why didn't we see more of that from him last year? He struggled to translate that success so far in the NFL. He got hurt early in the year with a collarbone injury, which didn't help because the edge room was crowded, right? Opportunities was limited, and when he did get chances, he unfortunately did not make enough impact. But this is a huge offseason now for Kyle Kennard. This is make or break territory right now because this edge room is crowded and competitive. And if he don't step up, somebody else will take that spot. But I'm rooting for the young man because the talent is there. I want to see him healthy. I want to see him confident. I want to see him become the player we saw in college because if he does, he could put real pressure on Bud Dupree for snaps. Now at linebacker, Daiyan Henley continues to get better. Early in the season, he struggled a little bit after losing a loved one, right? And sometimes life is bigger than football. But once he settled in, he started looking like that dude again. He reminded everyone exactly who he is. He finished with over 100 tackles, 54 of them were solo, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. He's grown into that leadership position. He's a captain now, and he's a leader. Denzel Perryman comes back as a veteran and another depth piece. And Troy Dye is solid, and I really like what I saw from Del'Shawn Phillips late in the season. I think his trajectory is pointing upward. And now Junior Colson. This is a big year for him because right now he hasn't looked comfortable since his time here with the Chargers. He still looks out of position too often, missed tackles, slow reads. But I have to say the injuries have hurt his development. But if he doesn't show something this year, he could find himself on the outside looking in because this linebacker room is competitive now. Then you get to the secondary. Derwin James, Cam Hart, Taheed Steele, Elijah Molden, Dante Jackson, Tony Jefferson. This secondary is talented. And I'm really interested to see some of the young guys compete in preseason like Nico Reed and Eric Rogers because both of them flashed last year before their injuries. Eric Rogers especially stood out to me. And then you added Jennison Smith through the draft. So now you got another young player trying to fight his way onto the roster. This secondary has a lot of depth, competition, versatility, and that's what good football teams look like, right? So while everybody is getting excited about the offense, and trust me, I get it. Don't sleep on this defense because if this defensive line dominates against the run, if the edge rushers continue to get pressure, if Daiyan Henley takes another step, and if this secondary continues developing, the Chargers are going to be a problem, a real big problem. And that balance between what Mike McDaniel is building offensively and what this defense already established over the last couple of years, it feels like this football team is getting closer and closer to becoming complete. Well, thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also check us out on my website, slmexpressions.com, where I have breaking news, updates, and exclusive videos that can only be seen on that site only. It's a lot of toys I got on there, and it's a whole lot of other things I'm sure that'll interest you. And that's including a live chat. Go check us out and leave a comment to let me know you visited the site. Anyways, have a solid day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bolt up, and don't forget to go on to slmexpressions.com and follow the live tracker for 263 days left to get into the AFC title game. And leave your comments. Take care, guys.